like, Steve, it's just, I've had it. I've had it, man. Like, and listen, I'm going to keep watching the games. I'm going to keep rooting for the Flyers. Like, there's no way I'm going to just like abandon ship. That's not how I roll. But like, it's, how can you be enthusiastic about this team right now? Listen, it's, the season's not over, right? Like, it is possible that they could go on a heater and claw their way back into playoff contention. Am I expecting that? No. Is that likely? Abso-fucking-lutely not. It's just not, that's not going to happen. We've seen this movie so many times. We know what's going to happen. We're all bringing out Tankathon. Like, we're all like hoping to get some sort of top 10 pick, hopefully top 5. Like, maybe they get McKenna, who the hell knows? But like, you know, even if that happens, people won't be happy because he's a goddamn winger. It's a fucking drama soap opera, Steve. This whole fucking thing. It's just, my God, I've had it.
It is so funny to me because, as you know, I've been doing this quite a while at this point, to see when people hit their breaking points with this iteration of the team, because it seems like it hits people at different times. I feel like mine really hit in the Tony D'Angelo, Nick Deloria offseason. That one really got me, but everybody kind of breaks at some point because that you have to, because the perpetual mediocrity, the just blunders, the errors, and it doesn't matter who the coach is. It seems like it's going to happen, and I don't know how to fix it. They talk, it's funny because like I haven't been as online as I used to be because I'm not on Twitter. I'm mainly, I do Blue Sky, and I don't do it as much as I used to do Twitter because I kind of broke the addiction, which is great. And it doesn't have as big a hockey community. There are some great people on there that I do love talking puck with, but it doesn't have the same sheer number of people as Twitter had. But it's good for me mentally because I'm missing out on some just scorching hot takes that people have. And apparently culture is back in the conversation as far as like, oh, see what they did with the culture. And, I'm going to get into this conversation with Sean Couturier in a few minutes because I think that's an interesting and a big part of, I think the struggles here and the attempt to turn the corner and change this team. But it's just so funny because like they did try the culture thing with John Tortorella. That's when the culture thing was the big conversation there. They've tried to change a few things, but they just keep getting the same mediocre, just results out of this team. And it's frustrating because you do just watch the same shit different year. And I just, at this point, I'm kind of feeling more, and part of this might be just having to do the sheer number of post games that I've been doing. But for me, I'm just like, okay, I guess they fooled us for a couple months, but they've resorted back to the mean. And in a lot of ways, it's better that they just don't get into the play. Like we said this 2 years ago too, where it's like when they just missed the playoffs, like, yeah, it's probably better they didn't make the playoffs so that they get a better draft pick. Like I went on a rant the other night where I talked about how sick I am of hearing about draft picks. Like I hate knowing draft picks. Like I hate doing research on them. I like the days when they would just trade the pick and I didn't have to think about it because they take these wild swings. And you watch teams like Vegas, you take these big swings. I've got a list of guys I'd love for them to take big swings on that if we have time, I'd love to talk about. I'm not sure we're going to get to talk about it because there's so many just bad, rotten things to talk about. But I miss when this team did have the capability of taking these big swings and made the playoffs routinely. And we didn't just have to talk about this team being in the 20 to 15 range as far as the NHL standings go. And just watching what has happened over the past 3 weeks, it's like, it's hard to point to one specific thing as the problem, but there's definitely like a multitude of issues. But the main thing is it sucks. It sucks to watch this every year. At some point, it just feels like even if they're doing good, Lucy's going to pull the football away from Charlie Brown.
That's what it is. And that's the hardest part is we got a taste of what a competitive hockey team looked like earlier on in the season. They were legitimately good, like really, really good. At one point I think they had like the 4th best points percentage in the entire league. Like they were
crushing it for a while.
Team.
Yeah.
And now they look like a shell of that team. They look like the same old Flyers that we've known since the Chuck Fletcher days, basically. And it's just, it's so frustrating. And I'm at the point now where it's just like, listen, man, like they've tried to shake things up. They've tried, they traded Joel Farabee. They traded Morgan Frost. They've made some moves. I don't care, man. You got to shake it up more. You got to shake it up more because it's not working. And we're hearing reports of the locker room, like it's super tight knit and everything, but like guys are like, they're not holding each other accountable. Something's got to change. What's going to like,
so what do you think? What do you think needs to change? Is there anything in particular you really think needs to change here?
I mean, listen, they've been changing the coaches. They've been changing the general managers, and it's been the same result for 10 years, a decade. So
the roster is different. Like the only guy that's not different, and maybe this is part of it, is Sean Couturier. Before this is a perfect transition to Couturier, but I do have my due diligence to do here. And, Travis Konechny has also been here for a good portion of that.
Yeah.
And I don't really think he's a guy to blame for this because I think he's fiery. I think he's a good leader. I think he's been consistently good for this team. You can make an argument all day about whether they should have traded him before they re-signed him, but Travis Konechny is a guy who consistently performs for this team.